Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome if you haven't been to my channel before. My name is Mike. I like to do art fundamentals, and as you see here, I like to do some character designs as well. Character designs are new for this year. So, one, thank you very much for even hopping on. If you give a like and all that good stuff just to support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. Two, any questions that you have as we go through the process, please ask them. That's why I like to do this. I like to be able to answer those kinds of questions. And three, I wanted to give a general structure of how this is going to work. I will start off just with some gesture drawing warm-ups, and then we will go back into maybe getting close to finishing up this character design today, actually. It's pretty close to being done. So we'll get all that stuff in, and yeah, I hope that you're doing well, and I hope that you enjoy the stream. So I would say let's just get started, but there's a couple of things I need to check. Okay, that's good to go. And I forgot, sorry guys, I forgot to get my gesture drawing app situated, so I'm going to do that now. There's those. So we'll just do a pretty quick warm-up. Nothing crazy. 5 gestures. I'm going to do 2 minutes and 30 seconds for each, so about a 12.5-minute warm-up. And then we'll get going. I like to do these just to, you know, it is what it is, right? It's a warm-up. But I like to do them just because it helps me get grounded in art. Yeah. Let's get going here. Cool. And the reference is what you see in the upper right-hand corner. And obviously, going off of that reference and what I'm drawing is on the canvas. I don't think I needed to say that, but that's okay. I wanted to give myself a little bit of extra time. Typically I do 2 minutes, but I've been trying to work towards doing a little bit more anatomy with my gestures as well. So we will see how that goes. The head's a little big, but it's something we can change at the end if needed. Put the feet in here. Alright. And like I said, any questions that you have, please ask them. Hey, Mike, managed to catch a stream live. Hope you're doing well. Mike, man, I was just talking about you and my brother the other day. I hope you're doing well too, man. I'm glad you were able to hop on the stream. It's always good to hear from you. I hope you and your fam are doing good. I'm gonna shrink this head a bit. And now I'm going to add in just some indication of the abs here. Next, again with gesture, the main thing, especially as a warm-up, and it's not like what you're doing for the day, the main thing is just making sure you're having nice loose lines, and trying to get the general like flow of the body in a way that's semi-accurate. And you know, when you get advanced, that would be inclusive of like the proportion of the gesture, but not necessarily. Hey chum boy, hey Peter, thank you all for joining. But not necessarily when you're first starting out. You know, the main thing when you're first starting out is just making sure you're getting that general flow of everything. And my gestures are slightly more advanced in that they're volumetric. You don't necessarily have to have volumetric gestures, and in fact, again, I would advise that you don't do that when you are first starting. You want to give yourself the time to learn. Sorry, Mike, I did see your comment. I will get to it in just a second. Hey Brooke, welcome. Started realizing that your work hours must have changed because you're streaming around. Yeah, my work hours did change. I work more at night now because I switched over. I have a new job in private practice, so I meet when people are able to meet, basically, which is going to be when they get off of work. Yeah, it's been nice. I will say, like, because I work less, so like less hours, and right now I'm actually getting paid more than I was, and I still have to build up more of my caseload. So can't complain with working less, getting paid more. And I think that it'll give me the opportunity as well to get another job. And in particular, I'm hoping an art-related job. I'm thinking about applying to an indie studio, like in the near future. I think that they have another project coming soon, and their games look actually pretty good. I'm gonna buy one of the games here pretty soon just to see if I enjoy it. But it looks like something I would enjoy. It's a little big. It's funny, I went from having heads that were too small to consistently making them a bit too big. So the only thing I really would want to change in here is just putting in the shoulder muscle, but other than that, I'm alright with the anatomy on this one. Yep, at least that way it won't violate any. Yes, that is true. That is very true. But yeah, how have you been, Mike? You been doing good? So again, just to reiterate, this is all about flow. I'm trying, again, I try to look at other things as well. Maybe one day I'll do like I'll have to remind myself, but I can do like a stream of quicker gestures just so people can get an idea of what it would look like as a beginner. Because it's definitely different than what I'm currently doing. I don't know what I was doing with the legs on this one, but that's alright. I'm not too worried about that. Again, need to make the head smaller, probably the neck. So I'll do that. I guess the only real thing I need to do is just spread the legs out a bit. And I'll do this one as well. And actually the head's too small now. I think it's also a little bit too low. And this can be shifted. Super busy with work. I technically work for 4 companies. My lord. So I work day and night. I bet you do working with that many companies. That is a lot of work, dude. You taking care of yourself, you able to take some time to like do things that make you happy. This one always gets me with the hip angle because you see more of the back end than you realize. And her head is a little big again, so I will work to fix that in just a second. So we will wrap up our gestures there. Let's see what we got. These are pretty good. Definitely not my best batch, but not a bad batch by any means. This needs to be a little bit. But yeah, pretty happy with that. Manager quit, so guess who's absorbing his work? Yeah, I feel like that happens a lot, right? The worst part about that happening too is a lot of the times, like, you don't end up getting the promotion for those positions, but every time, like, you are, like, somebody leaves or something like that, you're thrust into the role. So yeah, those things never help. Seeing the references, I noticed that you probably don't focus on negative space due to the time limit. Yeah, like, to be honest with you, negative space is probably something that would dramatically improve my gestures, but right now, like, I'm pretty okay with the fact that, like, I know that it's not going to be perfect, and that's not really what I'm going for. I'm just going for getting something that looks relatively similar to what we have in a couple minutes. That's it. And also just getting a warm-up in. I start to think about negative space more when I'm doing a study. Like, I wouldn't say that these aren't studies, but yeah, it's hard to explain. And you said not really, but motivation to draw sky high now. That's good. It's not good that you don't feel like you have time and space to take care of yourself, but it is good that you're getting motivation to draw and things of that nature. Alright. So back to the ice wizard that we've been working on here. Yeah, this design is solid so far. I like it a lot. I'm gonna just pull up, I just want to find a good hand pose for the staff in the back. I think the hand pose that's coming toward us is perfect, actually. Like, I don't want to change that at all. It's not perfect, but it's about as good as I can do. So, where are you? Stream hands. Let's see if I can find a good one here. If not, we shall... Oh, this one probably would work. And what I'll do too is I will... This is probably good. I'll copy and paste it so that y'all can see what I'm looking at as well. And again, not trying to make it perfect, just trying to get it so that it is relatively similar to whatever reference I have. So we will actually, no, that's not what I want. Oh, by the way, I noticed that you're doing many projects on stream, like this ice wizard. Yep, I have been doing that kind of stuff. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just trying to switch things up. And also, this is helpful for me because this is what I want to be doing anyways once I, like, go pro is... Oh, yeah, this is actually a perfect reference. Once I go pro, I would like to do character design, so it'll be helpful for people to see what I'm doing, right? Just in case I do end up getting the job at some point, which I will, because I'm going to keep trying and trying until I do, but they'll be able to see, like, what kind of work I put in, like, what kind of thoughts I'm having as I'm doing it, and things of that nature. Do it like this, or actually no, I'm just gonna have her, yeah, I'll have her wrist kind of going up a bit. And I can make this flatter as well. Yep, monthly art challenge. I forgot, I need to post the, I want to post both of the people who did it for the past one that we did, which was a month ago. I'm doing a horrible job of making sure I'm doing that, but that's okay. Better late than never, right? I'm gonna place her hand a little bit. Like, replace this like this. Now, I am gonna switch the reference over to this side though, just so I can see what I'm drawing. Alright. So my goal for today is to draw her face in, which will take me some time, probably, and then do probably a cleaned up version of these lines and fill in the inside with a gray just so we can really get a better idea of everything. I might do some light shading, I'm not sure. It just depends on how long this stuff takes me. My plan is to probably stop the stream at about an hour and a half. Between an hour and a half. So let's get going. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to take this completely away for now. Is this an imaginative character or an existing one? No, this is one that I've created with the help of the people on the stream. So I like to do, well, I did some votes. We had a pretty good showing a few weeks ago. We had enough people to vote on things, so I did votes and we worked on this character. So we started off with, I will hide everything really fast. So we started off with, I created some shape language for the character, and then we created these silhouettes, and then we did a vote on which one we wanted to do, and we decided on the first one, and after we decided on the first one, that's when I started to create what you're seeing here. Yep, it's been a lot of fun. Actually, you know what? I'm going to draw this hand off to the side a little bit bigger. So the one difference between this this pose and the one that I have is that it's going to be coming towards us a bit more. So it's going to be a little bit more foreshortened. So I won't be able to do an exact replica. I mean, granted, I could also just... actually, no, I won't erase it. I could do something like this, too. Because the hand isn't super duper important. I could just do... I'm just not good enough at drawing hands from imagination yet to do it, but you'll see what I'm saying in just a second. Could just do a hand that's kind of like this. Actually angled down a bit more. Yeah, this is more the angle. Something like this. I could do this and maybe find a good reference for that, and maybe I will, just because it does match kind of the rough guide that I have, but I kind of want to display as much of the staff as I can, because and I'll show you all this as we go too. When you're doing character design, it's really important to make sure that there's no real questions once you're finished. So some of the stuff that we'll have to work out is like, what does this armor look like from the back? What's the full staff itself look like? What's the armor over here look like from the back? What's the belt look like from the back as well? Are there any other things? Stuff like that. The other stuff looks like it's pretty self-explanatory, I would say. But those are things that you have to draw. Like, you can't just not draw those things, because when you're doing the concept art, it needs to be ready for a 3D artist to look at and create from. And one way to actually help yourself with that process too is if you actually go out of your way to learn how to do 3D art as well, which I've done here and there. It's actually where I started, was doing 3D stuff, but I can see that my video, like, of me is really choppy. Sorry, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can, like, turn it off and turn it back on and something. She could be. She's definitely... I'll probably make this a portfolio piece for myself. I'm kind of postponing... I'm going to postpone the manga for a little while. And try to get a portfolio ready. But these characters are characters that are within my world. This one, I don't have a spot in my world yet. No, it was rough. Hopefully it's a little better. Cool, thank you, Mike. So yeah, I will actually stick with just like this hand, even if it doesn't make, 100% sense here. And I'm gonna make it so that this is flattened out so that you can see more of the staff, instead of having this like crazy foreshortening to it. So yeah, let's go back. Alright, so this needs to be pulled back a bit more. And I'll probably do another iteration of this hand, since I didn't do any. Should have probably done some hand gestures today as well. Just because this one's not going to end up looking too great, I can kind of tell just from the construction that I used. But yeah, we'll just do another quick one. It's good to do like just a really rough iteration of something and then go back and try another one. Just because, first hand that I've drawn today, it's not going to be good enough for it to be in a finished piece, right? Like, it takes time. So let's try this again. So the first thing I want to do is just make sure I get in the actual rough construction of the hand, which is going to be the palm here, and the fingers would go out to here if they were flattened out, but instead we're going to get them at about the halfway point. Maybe even less than that. No, it's about the halfway point. So now we will do this. And they're going to hit about here on the hand. So here, 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 and now I can add the palm part in. Let's do a And these references, by the way, are all on Cube Brush. The ones that you saw, the one that you saw for all the gestures I did, and these hands are all on Cube Brush. Just, on an unrelated note, I went back to watch a bit of one of your most recent streams, and I heard that there was an issue with one of the songs in your rotation. Just wondering which one is that you said. And yeah, I already removed it. I found out no, I guess like what happens is the after a while, some of these like copyright free songs that are kind of on the internet, like people will take them and like put them on their own channel and like have them basically like copyrighted on YouTube, even though it's not actually their own music. I don't know. They need to fix that. I don't know how that happens, to be honest with you, but that's what happened because this person's claiming music. Oh, this is like, you know, it's 2 months old and this is my song. Well, I've had it on my channel as a free song for, I don't know, 2 years now. So somebody's lying and it ain't me, right? And maybe I'm like, you know, maybe there's something I just don't understand with the copyright world, which is probably what the case is. Like after a while, music, you know, maybe somebody claimed it. I have no idea, but I did. Well, I didn't get claimed. I got like a revenue sharing. So like people will try to share the revenue with me, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, and that's the thing is that like what's happening is these people are like taking music that and again, maybe it is theirs and maybe they've decided that they do want to get compensation for it, which is fine. But I think it's not related to the people that are actually creating the music. I think it's other people that are claiming copyright-free music on YouTube, so that people like me who use some of this free music, I don't know what's going on with this hand here, people like me who use this free music end up having revenue sharing. And if you do that with enough people, you'll make some money. But yeah, I don't really understand what's going on with that. Also, what's going on, La? I would tell you, I just can't remember because I just deleted it from my library. I don't like listen to this stuff like on my own time. Typically, I mean I like the songs, but I listen to I do like stuff that helps me like with parallel. What is that called? I can never remember what it's body doubling. Yeah, I'd have no problem telling you which one it was. I honestly just cannot remember at this point because I just like, I get up in the morning, I see the claim, and then I just delete it. Alright, I don't know why I'm having such difficulty with this hand, so we will try one more time. And I refuse to trace. What software am I using? This is Clip Studio Paint. Also, welcome, Winston. Yeah, the YouTube content ID system is easily abusable. Yeah, it definitely is. Oh, what's up? Welcome, welcome. Just watched your video on Market News art course you made a year ago. Do you have any updated opinions you'd like to share? Thanks. I'm definitely going to do a video on that when I go through and like do the certification. I'm gonna do like my art in the beginning before I started and then my art at the end and talk about like some of the things that I found that were helpful and some of the things that I didn't find helpful. I will say like Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that you've been enjoying the content, and thank you for watching my videos. Um, but also like sorry, I'm like getting distracted, but I'll say like I still highly recommend the course. I think as far as a person that wants to understand the fundamentals of art, it's an excellent, like I don't think you're gonna find a better option that's more extensive than that one. Um, the uh, the thing that I will say is that there are some things that I do wish that there was more information on. And I think that the program is a little bit hurt by two things. One, the Discord is so big that it can be intimidating for a lot of people, and I find that a lot of artists are introverted. So if that's something that's difficult for you, is like reaching out and getting help, that Discord is so large. So I would recommend mine. Mine's pretty small. I do want to get like, we do have a good amount of artists in there, and I want to get some more in there to be able to give each other feedback and things of that nature. Um, but yeah, and I think I said this already, but the feedback course not being there, it makes it difficult because you need somebody to be giving you the feedback to help. I would still say like I said earlier, I'm just like reiterating this. It's definitely worthwhile if you have the money and you're really serious about your art. I still highly recommend it. But like I said, there are some things missing. Like one course that and Locke and I were actually talking about this just the other day. But one course that I wish he could do and put into that would be like drawing characters, like drawing gesture drawings or however you want to say it of characters in perspective, um because that's hard. It's really difficult to figure out, okay, like if this is the perspective and at this angle, like how do I properly draw this character. Now I will say you can just find other content on that. There's like a lot of YouTube videos and stuff like that, but I can't say it's a perfect course because there's things missing, and you can't expect somebody to go over absolutely everything that you would ever need in art. But very good. Also, literally just join and I can see your improvement from the 5-minute exposure I've had to your content. Oh, nice. I'm loving that. That's great. Already read the binging stream since I kept missing you live, but here you are. Thank you and welcome. I'm using Photoshop, but I'm still learning the fundamentals. Can you tell me what dimensions you use when creating a new file? It depends. Like for these gesture drawings and stuff, like for this, I do a big one. So I have, you can't really see it at the top, but it's 8,000 by 4,000 pixels with 300 dots per inch. I just use that so that I can come back to this if I want to and continue filling it up. But today was a shorter one. For like actual designs that you do, let me see here. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. No, you can't. I have several on here. So for character sheets, I have my width is 4400, the height is 2200, and resolution is 300. That's the dots per inch. Yeah, and really that's kind of like, you want to be around 4K. I'm glad you're planning to do the good and bad in the update. I saw online there are complaints that Mark deletes any comments questioning him. Honest reviews equals best reviews. I would be surprised. I mean, that's possible, I guess, that he does that. I would be surprised by that, though. He doesn't seem like the kind of person that would be able to take that kind of criticism, but it's definitely possible. And you also have to think, like, a lot of people are just like, they get a program and their expectation is just not realistic. Like, I expect I buy, I spend $300 that in a year and a half I'm gonna be a professional. It's just crazy. But yeah, I will be honest in my review of him. Like, I honestly think that his course, would I recommend it? Yes. Is it great? Yes. Is it perfect? No course is perfect. Reddit has a low opinion of him, it seems. That's weird. I wonder why. Oh, and Monster Explorers, thank you. I appreciate that. He's like, again, like, nobody's perfect, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, he's the greatest guy on the planet. But the little bit that I've got to talk to him and the feedback and stuff that I got, and I'm sure Locke can attest to this too. You know, sometimes does the feedback leave something to be desired? Yeah, because there's a billion people. He's trying to go through 50, 60 submissions, and he has a family, he has stuff. But like, all in all, like, his feedback to me, the main thing that it did was it helped build confidence in my art, and that's what a good teacher does. And he also helped me grow. Like, I can't ask for more, and I don't think anybody else can either. So, like, my opinion on him will still be biased because I really enjoy him. I think that he's a great teacher, and I also think he's a good human being, and I gravitate towards people like that. But Reddit is the place to go when you want to put you down and not a pick me up. Unless your pick me up is a put you down. I'm a music composer trying to level up. I thought I could make a holistic experience in terms of style if I draw and compose. Nice! Thanks a ton for your feedback. I think I'll draw with you while I listen to stream. Beautiful. That's exactly why, well, one of the big reasons why I like to do these streams. One of my favorite things when I was drawing at first, before I really got into YouTube, was finding longer streams and drawing with people that I really admired, that I felt were nice human beings, because it's really important to me. It's like a theme. Okay, so this one I can work with. And again, the hand doesn't really need to be perfect. It just needs to not look like trash. My hands before were starting to look, they were looking kind of like trash. I like your concept art. Your lines show confidence, which I'm trying to get to. And I will join your Discord because I'm trying to draw 3D shapes, but my perspective is not good. I think I need a mentor. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Jump on in. There's a lot of people, like, I think Locke, to be honest with you, is a really good example of, one, how much you can improve in a very short amount of time, but two, he has really good, like, structure to his art. He can definitely give feedback, and I will too. Like, so yeah, make sure you hop in the Discord. I try to give, like, I'll be honest with you, like, there are some days where my feedback is a little late. And that's just because this isn't, I wish it was a full-time gig for me, but it's not quite yet. So I do have to work another job. So some days are busier than others, just like any other job, but I will get to it as soon as I can. And thank you for joining. Alright, I know this looks like a sloppy mess, but I do think it's good enough for me to use as a rough guideline for this one over here. And I can even twist it just a bit more. I think that works. Alright, so we got the hand in. I'm not gonna worry about this for right now. I can take, oops. Now I can take this. I'm gonna add this to it too. Take it, turn it, plop it in here. Bam. Alright. So we got that going. Mentors are both. I would agree. I think, like, a good what's that word I'm looking for? What is that word? Whatever. Like a good alternative is the word I was looking for. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Good alternative to a good mentor is sorry, my nose is really itchy. Is having a good group of people that can be helpful. So finding that is also very good. All right. So we have that in. I'm gonna go ahead and do a really rough face, and I'll try without a reference at first, and then I'll go in if I feel like I need a reference to really shore some things up in here. I've been practicing more portraits, and I can actually thank Locke for that. I appreciate that, Locke, because I've just seen how much you've improved by doing studies and stuff. So I've been trying to do a few more studies. It's been a while, and I'm learning some things, some mistakes that I make by doing those studies. And one of the big ones is the angle of the let's get the light count up. Yeah, what are we at? Let's see what we're at. I can't even see it right now. But one of the things I learned that was a little difficult, that I was having some struggles with my faces in particular, I can't even see the likes. I don't know how many we have. Is this side of the face over here. I tend to not leave enough. Space, or I leave too much space. It's mostly too much. I do feel like I can learn myself, but I need to be held accountable. Yeah, like I definitely hear you. It's hard to put yourself like on a schedule to consistently create. Not 100% sure if that's exactly what you mean, but that can be difficult. And you don't trick yourself into thinking that learning in a vacuum is a good thing. Self-taught does not mean that you're doing everything by yourself. Self-taught means that you are mostly going through and learning the material by yourself, and you're not in a classroom, is how I would define self-taught. Okay. Let's see here. So here. If this song right here, the one that's currently playing, ever gets stolen by somebody, I'm gonna like scream. This is my favorite one on this list. I can tell y'all a quick story. If y'all watch, what is it, Super Eye Patch Wolf? Is that his name? Something like that. He does like the reviews and stuff of like anime and different manga and stuff like that. He's really good. I'm sure that y'all know who he is, but he was doing like a video in like 2021 or 22. This one is called Phantom. Oh, wait a second. Give me 1 second. It's by Phantom87. It is called Payphone. But yeah, so I was watching one of his videos about like up and coming manga and things of that nature, and he started talking about Dr. Stone as one that he hopes like breaks through. And when he was talking about it, this song was playing, and he's really smart. He's a very smart human being, and everything he says just always sounds so profound. Part of the reason is I'm pretty sure he's got an accent. He's maybe British of some sort, like from the UK area. And I feel like people who have a accent from over there always just sound really smart for whatever reason. But and I would just remember being like, man, this song is so dope, and it makes me like makes my brain just like feel like I can concentrate better for some reason. I don't know. So some of these details in the face, like I'm just like trying to rough in right now, and I will definitely like make her face look much prettier as I go. One thing I can do automatically is just this. Yeah, they do sound proper. So just roughing in the face. One thing I'm noticing is her head is the face is way too small for the head, so we are going to scale that up quite a bit. I think this might be at least a little better. And as I often do, I'm probably just going to go ahead and erase all of this and start from scratch. I don't think that my guidelines were very good to begin with. Let's see. Probably not. Let's get these roughs. I'll get rid of this. And that's why I always just like rough in the head to begin with anyways, because I always end up redrawing it. English accents are the best, dude. I went to England to visit my friend that I met over YouTube, but I sometimes feel like I was living in a movie. All those accents, it was awesome. Yeah, one of the things that was like really interesting for me, so I studied, when I was in college, I studied abroad in Sicily, and one of the things that I ended up like learning about myself, or about myself, but just in general, is how bad of a listener I really am sometimes. I'm glad to catch your stream, friend. I'll catch your streams more in the future, and if not, I'll watch the vids. Best of luck to you. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for hopping on today as well. Hopefully the channel and the Discord are helpful for you in your art journey. But one thing I did figure out about myself was, how bad of a listener I was. Because, like, I often find myself being like, what, huh, a lot. Like, even now, I still do it. But when I was in Sicily, like, you don't really get that option to not listen, because they don't speak English there. They only speak Italian. There's probably like 1 in every like 15 people probably speak English there. So you learn very quickly that you're not a bad listener. You're not hearing incorrectly, or you're not like hard of hearing, but you're actually a bad listener. Because I came back to the US after that, and I was hearing everybody's conversations all at once, because I was working so hard while I was there to speak Italian that when I came back, like, I didn't have to think as much anymore when people were talking to me, and it was so funny. Like, I honestly felt like a bat. I felt like I had supersonic hearing. Like, stuff was just all over the place. So I was like, huh, what, huh? Like, I remember getting into the airport and hearing all the like people speaking English and just being like, whoa, this is like very, very, very hard for me to be in here right now. It's so overwhelming. I felt very overstimulated. But yeah, it was really funny to learn that. Let's go here and here, and that means I can pull this head down a bit. Just turn it off. I knew a girl like that once. She refused to repeat herself. You didn't hear her the first time. You didn't hear her at all. That's funny. Okay, let me check. Whoa, head is very tiny in comparison to the body. That feels a bit better. Let's see. Maybe still a little small. Yep, just a bit. All right. So now I will go in and retry. Another thing that I'm already noticing is, and this is a mistake that I also make pretty frequently, is that the back part of the head's, it's a little too wide. So I'm gonna pull it in a bit. And pull that. And the reason why I could tell is because the jawline was way too long. But I'll stop making micro corrections for now and start putting in some details. So we have here and here, here and here, nose, mouth, ears somewhere here. Again, I'll fix this once I'm done putting details in, but that jaw is still too long. Let me get my... So this is something I recommend you have. Have like a little like model head. I have also like a female and a male body. Just good to have. So you can look at it for reference. So I think it's actually not that... This is something here. Just a little less than half. This might be okay. All right. Give it a little bit of the back here. And there. I'm gonna erase away these details that I created already. And let's get an outline of the head going here. Do I like this? Probably not, and the main reason is going to be let's go with what we had first, and then we'll correct as we go. All right. So something that I learned recently with the that I want to share with the eye sockets. So when you draw in your eye sockets, don't make this mistake. There is a part of your eye socket, and also with your eyelids, that's going to cover up a good portion of the eye socket. So what does that mean? It means that yes, your eye fits in here, your eyeball, It's going to fit in there like that. But your eyelid, excuse me, and the eyebrow are going to cover up a good portion of this space. So what I've learned to do that I like the style of, and it's not 100% accurate, I would say, but it's pretty close, is I'll take this eye socket that I created here. I'll split it in half, but I'll take some of the top off of it. And that gives me a good indication of, okay, the eye, like the visible part of the eye and even the eyelid shouldn't be going up past that. It should hit it, but maybe not go up past it. And I found that that helps the eyes be more consistent. And then the bottom, though, you can kind of fill the bottom all the way almost. Your bottom eyelid doesn't really move too much. The top one moves quite a bit, but the bottom not so much. The other thing that I often have like trouble doing consistently, which is a weird thing to have trouble drawing consistently, is just the eyebrow, which is funny because it literally just follows your eye socket. But sometimes easier said than done. And again, I'm just going to put something rough in right now. I need to work a bit faster. So I can see that there's also a mistake on this side already. And the reason for that is, let me see if I can get in, here goes. So the angle of this face is kind of like that, right? And one thing I want you to take note of is where the eye socket ends here. Sorry, let me get to this in a second. I want to finish my thought. Your eyebrow is wrapping around, but it's going past. So like you can't see from like here, you can't see over. So that means that it's impossible for us to be able to see that downward curve of this eyebrow. So how do we fix that? Well, this is telling me that more than likely I have too much on this side of the face. I mean, I could look at a reference or even just look at this. And I would say that might be accurate, but maybe even the more accurate thing is actually just this part of the face needs to be, or this part of the brow line needs to just be straightened up a little bit. Oops. So that, I think, solves a lot of problems. It actually makes the character look more feminine as well, which is good. So now, again, eyebrow is just going to go, you might see a little curve, but not too much. Just going to go right to the end of the face there. What is your end goal for art? Like a project you want to finish at some point? My end goal would be to get hired. Yes, thank you, Locke. You are absolutely correct. It wraps around the head. Thank you for saying that, because I was not explaining it well. So a project I want to finish, and this probably still isn't quite right. It probably needs to even be pushed over a little more, but I'll correct that as I go. One project that I would like to do is I want to do a complete like concept art book of like 60 to 80 concepts, like character designs and stuff, and maybe like 10 illustrations as a project for myself. Another project that I have is to take all of those concepts and all those characters and then create a manga out of it at some point. But my real end goal right now is for me to just get hired to do concept art for a video game company. That is my big goal. So I'm just, again, rough design for the face here. And now one thing that is hard is like knowing when like the bridge of the nose, this part that like indents down, and when the nose actually starts to extrude from the face, how much of that is covering up the eye that's the further one away, right? At this angle, you're actually going to see a decent amount of this eye, which I already have in here, before it gets covered up. So sometimes you get an angle that's a little bit steeper than this. That's kind of like maybe, let's say, it's like this, where almost all of that gets covered up. So you can't really see much of that eye. What video game company do you have in mind? I wrote this one down because it's an indie studio. Let's see here, that I plan on applying for. They're called Heart Machine. I do really want to apply for them. I think that their concepts are beautiful, and I like the overall feel of the designs that they have. Alright, so we have a head. And a face. Is there any way your job as a therapist has influenced your progress as an artist? That's a good question. I think that it's made me want to do more art, and the reason for that is because I see the value of making sure you take care of yourself and do things that you're passionate about. I want to make sure. One thing that's a little weird, a little wonky with this is that she's kind of facing a little, like her head isn't quite looking where I wanted it to. I'm not going to worry about it, but she is looking a bit too far, I think, away. But that's okay. Maybe not. Not too bad. But also, I think, like, when I initially started doing these projects and stuff, one of my main goals was I wanted to, and I still want this, I want to be sure to, like, I want to create something that kids and people can, like, read or view, and they feel understood in some way. They feel like they belong in some way. Just because it's something I struggled with as a child, and still as an adult, like making sure you feel like you fit in and things of that nature. I give all of my, actually no, I'm just gonna go with a regular ear. I give all of my characters elf ears. Doesn't need to happen. John Boy, do you know who that is? Like what studio that is? Is that why you're saying oh wow, or for a different reason? Can I get a Discord invite too? Oh yeah, of course. Come on in. Anybody is free to come into the Discord. I think it should be in my description as well. So one thing, like, I'm gonna keep this as like a slightly more like anime style portfolio piece, just because I like the style. But one thing to think about for your own portfolios when you're making it, if it's not just like anime or manga that you want to get into, is making things look more realistic. or whatever place you're like trying to apply to, you want to gear your style more towards that. But it's good to show that you're capable of a multitude of different kind of styles, because that's what you have to do. A studio hires you, you have to adhere to the style that they have. One way to make this a little bit more realistic would be her eyes. Her eyes are a bit big. I would probably draw them probably more like this. And then you get eyelashes that kind of go. I mean, and again, it's kind of fine to exaggerate the eyelashes and stuff like that. But you're going to get eyes that's a slightly more realistic eye. But again, I want her to be really like attractive looking as far as what like an anime design would look like. And now the hair. Hey, we got a sub. David, welcome. And also, TW, you said you subscribe. I guess if people aren't like, they don't have like their public subscriptions, you're not going to come up on the stream, but I appreciate y'all subscribing. Welcome to the community. So let's go ahead and get her hair in. I could probably make her forehead a bit more vertical here. And we're gonna get a pretty clean part here. And also these hairs are going to be going up and around. I'm not familiar with the studio, but their art is amazing. Yeah, I was looking up studios and stuff just to see, like, alright, like, I probably, like, it's hard to get into a studio that's, like, I'm not going to get into Blizzard, my first job, right? And I need to get the experience of working in a professional atmosphere. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into Blizzard or Riot or any of those kinds of places on my first job. But if I get into an indie studio and then work my way up, then we'll be good to go. And so, yeah, I've been doing research, and I was like, oh, man, like, this looks, this looks really cool. I like it a lot, and I was just like, I could definitely try to work here. And the people also, like, I looked and explored their actual website. They seem like really nice human beings, and their message kind of was like, we don't want you to be burnt out and stuff of that nature, which is great to hear, because you're not going to get that experience again at bigger studios. They don't really care if you're burnt out, I would say. I'm just making assumptions here, so sorry for people that work for big studios that have great experiences. I don't mean anything by this, but smaller place, more like family, gonna be more than likely a better experience to start off with, especially as a person that's just beginning in the field. Yeah, they're in California. They have jobs that are remote as well. Really, I think right now the only job opening for concept artists that they have is remote. The link just opened the Discord app and brought me to search page. Oh, sorry. Let me see if I can get that for you. Let me see here. Is it in my description? Give me 1 second. Let's Let's see. Let's see if this is the same one that Mike shared. Oh, that is the same one. Okay, so let me try to find this. All right. Let's see here. Oh, this is not the one that I want. Alright, let me see if this will work. Try that one. I have no idea if that'll work or not. And alrighty. Got a name for the character. Maybe that's something we can vote on together. Alright. I'm happy with her face now. I think she looks very pretty. And now we can maybe go in here and kind of solidify her hand a little bit more. I need to switch over to I want to have it come towards us a bit. That's one thing I want y'all to see this really fast. So right now you can kind of see a little bit better that this arm does feel a little bit more like it's coming towards us, right? I want to show you, put this way just a bit. I want to show you what I did and how much difference this makes. So, sorry, let me get rid of the roughs and look at it now. Okay. Yeah, Mike, maybe slightly strange for for recent times, but watch this. So this is how these lines were just a second ago. She's an ice witch. Yes, I understand exactly what you mean. But watch what happens when I do this. And this is how it kind of was. See how it breaks the arm? I know that doesn't seem like much. Let me just like do straight lines, like unbroken lines. You see how much that changes the dynamic of that arm? And that's because I've now broken the perspective that I've created for it. So let's go back, and you can quickly see how that makes the perspective work a little bit better almost immediately, right? So it's something you want to keep in touch with as you're drawing. Like, you don't need to know perspective, like you don't need to know how to do 5-point perspective, for instance, to be a really good artist. If you just understand the fundamentals of perspective, you'll be good to go. Alright, so one thing to think about too, character consistency. So one thing that we have on this hand that we don't have over here is the claws, right? So the question becomes, do I want her to have claws like on the same side of the hand that that she holds her staff in? I'm not sure, but perspective's not fun, I will say. It's boring and it looks more difficult than it actually is, but it's not a fun thing to learn. So I think that we probably can sorry, let me fix this. This is probably just draw a new staff, to be honest with you. Sorry, I just want to fix this before I forget. It's gonna bother me. Do it from here. Up, down, down, up. That's better. So I definitely can, and I think I will, just for consistency's sake. But it could also make sense to not have her have like these like claw-like things going on here. Let's go this way and out. This way. So they pop off and curl in. Pop. That worked, thanks. Can you explain what the left side is? Is that painting with large shapes or value, or just a quick alternative design? Mike, you've hit on a point. I don't think that I'm gonna make her a villain. I want to make her look kind of like menacing, but make her a protagonist type character. And the reason for that is because of what you just said. It's a little bit of a challenge, but I do want to make her seem a little less menacing. So I'll probably do like pretty light colors and things like that and see how well it works. If not, then I'll make her a villain. Yeah, so on the left side over here, this is a great question for people who are joining the stream a bit later. This is a rough silhouette that I did to help with just the shapes and designs and things like that of this character. She could be an anti-hero, that is correct. I'll let y'all decide. Yeah, so I started off, here, let me get rid of this. I started off with trying to identify shapes, shapes over here that I liked, that I wanted to add. And then we kind of picked a shape, which ended up being this one. This one was over here. Actually, it was this one. This one was over here. So we picked that shape, and I've decided, you know, I'm gonna try to create a character using those shapes, and we did. So we have this silhouette, we had this silhouette as well, and that silhouette. I did a vote just to see which one y'all wanted. This is the silhouette that got the vote, so we stuck with that one. And now I'm refining this design. And I'm keeping the silhouette off to the side for now, just to help me with, making sure it looks consistent to what we originally wanted to create. And one thing that I'm seeing that isn't consistent is, well, I kind of like the way I did it better over here, actually. But, yep. Alright, so now This was mostly just for the stream. I'll probably add this character to my own portfolio as well. But yeah, this was mostly just for this stream, and to connect with y'all and do something a little different, because I typically just do gesture drawings and things like that, which is, it can be a little boring. Funny enough, I created another character that has very similar like shape design and stuff. And maybe this character can be like within that same realm of the other characters, but maybe a magic version of that character. So if that's the case, though, I will make her have goblin ears, because, oops, that character design is a goblin design. So I think I will do that because it seems like a good idea. It's the same kind of shape language, so why not? This can just be a magical ice goblin. Really got a trip across to you. I'd love to learn more about gesture drawing, as I think it may be a good place to start. Do you recommend? What do you recommend as a place to start drawing? I think it's really dependent on what you want to do. If you want to do character design, always the fundamentals are really important. Gesture is part of that process of the learning the fundamentals, but also just learning shape and form, super important. The general perspective, I think you could get away with just 1, 2, and 3 point perspective, which is, it sounds daunting, but it's not too bad. But so those things, form, like doing boxes and cylinders and things like that, and then gesture and perspective are where you would want to start. And of course, always remember, have fun, create things that you find enjoyable, even if it doesn't look good right now, it will post. All that stuff's really important. It's kind of hard to draw somebody with really long claws when they are. It's something I'll refine out later. Oops. Alright. So yeah, the thing, and I'll probably end with this, maybe another 15-ish minutes of doing this, but the thing that now we need to look at is we have pretty decent larger scale and maybe medium detailed designs as well. So now we need to go through and start to figure out what are some of the smaller details that we can start to add on to here that would make this look like a more complete design. So the first one that I'm going to do is just start to finalize some of these shapes that are in here. Start off with the chest plate. She has this kind of pointy heart shape going on, which is kind of perfect for the chest region. We'll keep this here, and this can also help make her design look a little bit less menacing. She really needs to hold a baguette in the other hand. That would really put it together. Yep, just going in here and just hot baguette. Alright. So yeah, we're just starting to go ahead and break down the design. Is her staff short, or will you draw it? Yeah. It's gonna be a longer staff. Like I have it this long, so it's about 3/4 the length of her body. So I'll make it go off the other end. I'm also gonna have to take this staff and draw it like kind of like it is over here, just so it can be seen for character design. Alright, so the one thing I want to make sure I'm doing is looking over here, and you know what, I'm actually going to round out her belt design a bit to match the top part of this, just so it's not completely the same as the other design that I have. I think this is fine. She has these like diamond shapes as well, and I'm imagining underneath her armor she has like some kind of like thicker like pants on. So what I'm gonna do as well is I'm gonna use these diamond shapes to create a bit of a pattern here on her pants. And I'll do the same near her chest as well, and that'll draw some attention. There'll be like arrows pointing straight at her face up here. Do I want to do it on her pants? Probably not, actually. I don't want too much attention to be down there. So I can do it up here. And again, this is all coming from over here and over here, right? I want to make sure that I'm keeping consistent. For her armor over here on her shoulders, how do I want to do this? I can just have like a quick on both sides here. And again, you can notice I'm taking that from the shape that's inside there. It's going to be a month since I haven't touched my pen. That's sad. Why is that? I think I saw that you had posted something on there. How do I want to do this? Slightly smaller. You've been doing commissions and other stuff? Well, what do you mean by you haven't touched your pen? Like your own, like something personal for yourself? I'm confused now. Commissions is a great thing now. You know what? I think I'm gonna even. Uh, but I can tell from experience doing music commissions that I've never enjoyed writing music for others as much as I thought I might. Guess it does depend on the project, granted. Why Monster? Is there a lack of organic feeling with commission music due to timeline? Um, oh, I see. Sorry. I don't know why I was so confused about what you said, Mike. I'm like losing it. I've never used Discord before, but I see there's an art challenge and we post our drawings for feedback. Sorry, I know I'm late, but your channel did just randomly pop. No, you're perfectly fine. I have no care in the world for who joins when. I just appreciate people joining at all. So yeah, there's like feedback and stuff like that. So if you just want to post your art and not get any feedback, you just want to share art with us, there's that art section. If you want feedback from us, put it in the feedback section and we'll definitely get to you at some point. I know a lot of people have been commenting on everybody else's stuff and we've had good conversations. And then, yeah, there is an art challenge. I need to post something for the month of February. And typically what I'll do, and I need to do this for the 2 people who posted something last week or last month, but typically I'll post it on my YouTube channel, the people that are the winners. I'm doing both the people from last time though because I thought they both did a good job. So yeah, that's kind of it. In general, you can just talk about whatever nonsense you want to. Again, pretty fun group, so you can just start a conversation with those people. Coop isn't here. He kind of runs the show over there for me because he's awesome. But he's one that's like typically doing stuff on there for me. He even created the Discord for me because he's just that awesome. Didn't even think of it as an idea to do. Alright. I guess it might have something to do with a lot of projects don't have that atmosphere that invokes a sense of wonder that I care deeply about, but I don't know if I heard to you. Yeah, I would say like if you are writing music or doing stuff for other people and it's not something that it's like not a song or whatever that is like your own brainchild, I feel like it is more difficult. But that's why it's really important, even as an artist, as any artist, you have to continue to do that stuff for yourself, because if you don't, you start to lose your passion for it. Okay, let's see here. And going back to the design, let's do a line here. And get some maybe some I think here. Alright, trying to think. So we have the diamonds up there. I'd love to eventually write for an animated short film at some point, though. That would be incredible. Let's see here. So again, I'm just looking now, I'm trying to, I mean, granted, I do need to clean this up a little bit, but I'm trying to look to see if there's huge void like down here that I still need to pick up for not making it such an empty space down there, but trying to see here, does the top, let's just block it out, does the top feel like it's enough? I think so. I think the top has enough detail. So we can start to go down. Oh, you're talking about, you said you can't wait to see the finished product of this drawing? I can't either. Thank you for the hearts. I'm very excited to see what this is going to end up looking like. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead and let's do some, I think for right now I'm happy with everything in the upper body. So let's go down and start looking into like the belt and things like that and get a little bit of an idea of what I want to do here. So let's take this, just break up. Make this, instead of just being a straight line, can be something like that, so it looks like it clasps together. And something I can do with the knees immediately. I actually did this with my other design the other day and really enjoyed it. I can use that heart shape, flip it upside down, and now this is the kneecap part. Probably make it a bit bigger. Thank you. I will definitely be adding some more stuff to it. Now this can like link up to this knee piece here. You do the same on the other side. And we'll have to work this stuff out just a bit more, but I do want to just, instead of worrying about the functionality right this second, I just want to get in like, what are the details of this gonna look like down here? You know what I might also do, just because the heart shape looks like it kind of has these like wings up at the top, is add that to the belt. and I can refine that a bit later. Alright, so now I need to figure out what's going on. This knee part, this will just wrap around and finish off here. And I'm gonna just quickly find another reference for just knee armor. Knee armor is a little difficult because they have to make it functional. And I don't want it to not look functional. Alright, so what ends up happening is, yep, there's pieces that go underneath. So I'm going to try to make that as clear as I can. That these are going underneath, and then maybe there's like a insert there. This can be its own separate piece. And then there's another piece that's going underneath there. But the knee part comes over the top of everything. Alright. Now, the real question is, do I want this heart design to be so dominant? And the answer to that is maybe not. I'll have to think about it. Probably not, just because I don't want this to be confused as like love magic in some way, right? So we have to edit. But luckily the shape isn't that different. So we'll just come through like this. We got this like diamond shape, so we'll continue with the diamond shape. It's a very fast, very easy edit. The same is going to be true of the belt though. So sorry. No. Oh yeah, dude. That's one of the things I wish, like, my channel, to be honest with you, is something that I wish I would have found when I first started. Because it's really intimidating to see where all the artists, like, end up. And sometimes it's like, I don't know. It's so discouraging in so many ways, because you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm never going to be able to draw like that. But, like, everybody has their origin story, right? So I really do wish I would have found a channel. I'm sure there's no way I'm the only person that's done a channel like this, where, like, oh, I'm gonna road to going pro. Like, I'm gonna chart my progress as I go, and, you know, stuff like that. There's no way I'm the only person. But I didn't find that person when I started, and I wish I would have. So I appreciate you saying that, because it's kind of the reason why I started YouTube. I'm just gonna pull this down a bit, and now we can. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I can probably make this a bit more. I think that's a bit better. Alright, and now let's take this. I just love that there's just a baguette there. Oops. What's going on? Whoa. Weird. 1 second here. I'm going to workspace. Sorry, give me 1 second. Baguette? Why can't I find this? reset to default. Okay. There it goes. Okay. Alright, so now I have nice straight lines that I know will work to go off of for this staff. I think this one could be a bit thinner side. And is that the distance or the length that it needs to be? Let's find out. Yeah, that seems about right. That's a good trick, by the way. Queen of frozen baguettes. Could you imagine? You could kill somebody with one of them things, man. You get a really, really, like, hard frozen baguette. It's been in the freezer for, like, 4 or 5 months. You could mess somebody up with that thing. Yeah, I think that this is right. Sorry, what I was trying to say is this is a good way to help yourself with like proportions and things. You can do the same thing that I just did with this staff for like an arm or a leg and check to make sure that they're like the same size or what have you. One thing I am going to edit just a bit here, and it's not going to be too much, but it's just the thickness of this leg here. It's just a little too much. I wanted her to not be like super duper skinny, but her leg was a little bit, just slightly too thick at the top. Alright. Strangest murder ever. It would be. Oh, what happened with that? That happened with frozen turkeys years ago. Off a bridge or something. A woman lost her life because of, oh my gosh, that's horrible. That is truly horrible. Alright. So, yeah, we're gonna finish up with doing some quick, like, design work with these, the lower legs. And I'm probably gonna repeat the thing that I did up at the top, which is just, like, this, like, triangular shape here. But how do I want to do it? Do I want to repeat it? Maybe I can do it like this. Nah. How do I want to do this? One thing I know I can do, just right off the bat, put in some lines here. These ones can go this way. What's your favorite music genre? Um, that's a tough question. If I had to pick, probably like alternative R&B, somewhere in that range. My favorite artist, and maybe people won't like this. Get a few unsubs here. My favorite artist is The Weeknd. I've liked him since I was in high school. But the music that I listen to the most is like I listen to just like electronic like beats basically. Like one of my favorite YouTube artists actually is Musicality. I really like his stuff. He makes good stuff. Alright, so I have the lines now. Now what do I want to do? I could oh, that opens the door to this. This sharp jaw is a good design choice. Thank you. Appreciate it. So I'm trying to think here. I think that even with the shape kind of having this I gotta think about this. Let's do this. I think that it would be something like, let's see here. Contour line for this is probably going to be like that. I probably need to also beef this up this way a little bit. Because if this was just a round piece, it would be like that. Okay. So now this is going to go this way. So if that's going that way, it's going to go up as well. So it's going to go kind of like this. Sorry guys, I know I'm talking to myself. Over here just chatting away. That's how I work through stuff. It's a little difficult because this shape is it's like kind of, it's this like cylinder shape like this, but what's happened is I've cut it, so like I've cut it so it goes like, so this part's gone, and it's like that now, but it also has like this indented curve a little bit. Actually, this is probably a better way of drawing this, so I'm just gonna do that. I do. When I'm sitting here, I'll sit here and like whisper to myself like a maniac. So I'm going to just do that as the, yeah, that looks better, actually. Yeah, I like that much better. Oh no, that's horrible. Yeah, sometimes you do. You have to bounce ideas off yourself. The one thing that I do want to do though is this is a bit much, so I'm going to take this and just pull it down. So the same thing can be done with the smaller piece. Let's get all of this junk out of here. Those ones are pretty good already. Just perfect. Sorry, the reason why I had to do that is because the form wasn't making any sense when I was trying to add stuff to it. So now it does. So now I can... So yeah, what I was trying to show over here, which is... Yo, what's up, Muhammad? Is now this is this way. And this is this way. So those are the contour lines. And if I were to, you know, it's no longer going to be something like that, right? That I have to worry about. So I can now think of it like, yep, this is this way. There's a contour line like this. So now I can go ahead and add, so this line is definitely going to be added in with a midline. And now I can add detail that makes sense. But do I like that? Probably not. I don't think I need to do too much there. I think I can do the midline. Alright. Gotta do gestures. Who does? I did like the idea of the fur being here. So I'll re-add that. Oh, you know what? I have an idea. Why don't I put gigantic, like, gems on these lines here? See how I like that. And they get smaller as they go down. Alright, I kind of like that. I'll have to see it once the design is like completely finished up, but or do I not worry about it any other things? Yeah, this is like the difficult part, is coming up with like smaller details that would make sense. Like, you know what I should do? I will. Armor design references. So I'm gonna look at some of these references over here and kind of see what they did with the legs. Looking off to the side here. there's not really too much. I think what I can do though, instead of doing this, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for the dono. Really, really appreciate that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it like this for now. One of my fears is that I don't want to put too much emphasis on the legs, and it's already kind of busy because you have all of these like different shapes in here. Because then our eyes are gonna go here, and I want them to stay a little closer to here. So we'll work on that. I do want to do a quick design for her armor shoes here, and probably fix it next week or later in the week when we come back to this. And maybe she has something on the sides here that are that like winged shape up at the top, just to have like a quick repeat of that pattern since it's not really repeated throughout. Yeah, I think we can work with that. I don't know if I actually read your donation, so let me read it. It said, "Keep up the great work, bro. You're an awesome person, and I have the utmost respect for your journey." Thank you so much. Sorry, I don't get very many donations. I think this is my third. Mike that's in the chat has used my first two, and I'm highly appreciative of that. But thank you so much for your donation. I really do appreciate it. Thanks for the love. Yep, I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm probably gonna stop here as well, actually, just because one, my brain is starting to malfunction, and two, I'm getting hungry. But we've gotten pretty far, right? We got a good face in, nice sharp design elements all throughout. And she's looking pretty good. Like, this is pretty much completed. So yeah, I'll probably finish this up. I would assume maybe not totally finished, but this next portion of this will be us kind of working on more of the details, cleaning things up, maybe getting in. Yeah, no problem. I appreciate it. Getting some more, like, maybe starting colors. I'm not 100% sure yet. Doing like base colors and maybe some light, a little bit of light work. And then we'll finish up with, it'll probably be 3 or 4 more streams and we'll probably finish her up. But again, I really do appreciate every single one of you. And people have been popping off on my channel the past couple of weeks with like just subs and stuff. 16 likes. Yes. It's been a long time since we've gotten that many likes on a stream, so I do appreciate that too. And we had like consistently between like 8 and 12 people just in the stream. So that's definitely something that's not been here for quite some time, so I really do appreciate that. But yeah, we're growing quite a bit. Didn't think that I would get through, like we're closing in on 2,200 subs when I just got 2,000 like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. So I really appreciate all y'all and all your support. we'll continue to do these streams, and I'll even continue doing them after I do get hired somewhere, so I don't want y'all to think I'm going anywhere. But I love every single one of you. I appreciate all your support. Thanks again for the dono, and I will catch you in the next stream. Take care of yourselves, draw, be kind to yourselves, all that good stuff. Alright. Peace.